thing was not done in a corner. Why would Paul be preaching the gospel to King Agrippa if God never chose King Agrippa? He wanted King Agrippa to come from the state of unbelief to belief. And look at King Agrippa's response of his own choice. In Acts 26 says, verse 28, then Agrippa said unto Paul, almost thou, Paul, that thou persuadest me to be a Christian. He chose not to believe, and that's the last that we hear about King Agrippa and his faith. It would be foolish to say that, well, that's really God saying, you almost persuaded King Agrippa, but I'm going to stop him from believing.
You see, this is exactly why I am not an idolatrous free will lover. He says it is foolish that God would cause Paul to go to King Agrippa only to tell or make King Agrippa tell Paul no about the gospel. He says it is foolish. Well, that very thing is something God did with Pharaoh and Moses. Is that foolish to you as well? It's because it shows how much of a fool you really are. Because God commanded Moses to go to Pharaoh, and he does it, only to jump inside of Pharaoh and command Pharaoh to not let the people go. Does that sound strange or foolish? How about this? He eventually, by the permission of God, let the people go, only to harden Pharaoh's heart again. God did, to go after the people just to kill Pharaoh's people, drowning them in the Red Sea. Do that sound foolish to you as well? Because it shows how much of a fool you are. Oh, King Agrippa chose of his own will not to believe. Really? What do you do with Proverbs that says the king's heart? How about we put King Agrippa there? The king's heart is in the hands of the Lord, and God turns it whatsoever way he will. You know what? It really shows your hypocrisy when you want to preach free will. It's because if you've seen your daughter or your son about to commit suicide, blow their brains out, hang themselves in their room, would you honor their free will? I know you wouldn't. You would try to get as close to them as possible so they don't pull the trigger. You would override their free will and snatch them off of that chair so they don't hang themselves. But hold on. You're created in God's image and likeness, right? Why don't you honor their free will? They want to die. They want to commit suicide. Why are you messing up their plans? Why are you intermeddling with their free will? It shows how much of a hypocrite you are when you preach free will, and then you know deep in your heart that you wouldn't even honor theirs if they wanted out of this life by committing suicide. Don't be a hypocrite.